Imagine with me for a second. You just open your eyes to a sound unlike any other. It's your phone, but it's not a regular ringtone. It's a call from your financial advisor, the one number that only calls in extreme situations. You reach for it on the nightstand, a bed you never bothered to ask the price of, in a room you never paid for, in a home you own but don't really know yet. You put the phone to your ear and the voice comes through. Good morning, sir. I just wanted to confirm that our acquisition deal for the new company is complete. Congratulations. You have just entered the ranks as the richest man in the world. You hang up. You stare at the ceiling. You are the richest man in the world. What do you do now? What's the first thing that crosses your mind? Do you jump for joy? Do you scream? Maybe. But let me take you on a journey you won't take alone. Let me walk you through the first 24 hours of your new life. In those first few minutes, the world is in your hands. You feel like the earth revolves around you, not the other way around. You open your flight app, not to book a business class seat, but to buy a plane. Not just one plane, but a fleet. Why a fleet? Because you can. That's the first feeling, absolute power. The power that makes you believe you can stop time. But wait, something's strange. The richer you get, the faster time seems to move. You no longer have the luxury of sleeping in. Your phone won't stop ringing. It's not just old friends from childhood calling. It's heads of state, charities, investment firms, people asking for just a few minutes of your time. But you know what the most expensive thing you own is now? It's not the money. Money has become just numbers. The most expensive thing is time. And ironically, time is the one thing you can't buy. You think about going out for coffee. You want to feel normal. You go to your favorite cafe, the one you used to go to before you became the richest. But something has changed. The looks aren't the same. There's an invisible wall between you and everyone else. Some look at you with reverence, some with envy, and others are just waiting for something from you. You're no longer you. You've become an opportunity. Everyone you meet, even the people closest to you, your relationships now come with a complex equation. You ask yourself, does this person love me for who I am, or because they want a piece of this world? Loneliness at the top isn't a myth. It's a cold, hard reality. You sit alone in a massive palace, surrounded by staff, but no one truly understands what's going on in your head. No one dares to tell you no or challenge your decisions. You become trapped in a bubble of yes, of course, and you're absolutely right. And speaking of decisions, imagine that every decision you make now, no matter how small, affects thousands, even millions of people. If you decide to invest in an energy company, you change fuel prices in an entire country. If you pull out of a specific market, thousands of families lose their jobs the next day. This isn't just pressure. This is the weight of mountains on your shoulders. The insomnia sets in, not because of the money, but because of the responsibility. You start watching the news anxiously, knowing that if any crisis breaks out anywhere in the world, public opinion will turn to you and ask, why aren't you doing something? You're the richest man. But let's step away from this nightmare for a bit. There's another side, an incredible side. You have the power to change lives. Not just change them, but create them from nothing. Remember that hospital you used to walk past years ago, half abandoned? You can rebuild it, equip it with the latest technology, and say, any patient who walks through these doors pays nothing. Remember that young inventor whose story you saw online? The one begging for funding for a device that could desalinate ocean water? You can call him right now and say, how much do you need? Don't worry, I'll send the check today. That feeling of leaving your mark on humanity is priceless. You're not just buying fancy cars or jewelry, you're buying a legacy. You etch your name onto libraries, universities, scientific discoveries. But even this comes at a cost. The cost is losing your innocence, losing the joy of anticipation. Remember when you were a kid, saving up your allowance to buy a video game? Weren't those days beautiful? how sweet success tasted because you worked for it. Now you wait for nothing. You can buy any game, any car, any island, at any moment. The pleasure vanishes before it even begins. Boredom becomes your constant companion. You look for a new challenge, so you dive into an industry you know nothing about, just to feel the thrill of the challenge again. And in the midst of all this, you start thinking about your family, your kids. How do you raise them knowing they are heirs to the richest man in the world? How do you teach them the value of a dollar when they have billions? Will they grow up grounded, or will this world consume them? You become tough on them sometimes because you want them to understand the value of life. So you hold back your love, afraid that money will spoil them. And you discover that your greatest gift, the ability to give them anything, is precisely what prevents you from giving them the normal life you want for them. As the days pass, you begin a journey of self-discovery. You start giving away billions, not because the world needs you, but because you need to feel human again. You search for the person you could have been if you hadn't become the richest. You travel to remote places, sometimes in disguise, to sit with a simple farmer or a fisherman and listen to them talk about their small worries, about making ends meet. In those moments, you finally feel a sense of peace. You realize that true happiness isn't in owning the world, but in being a small part of it, interacting with it, feeling its pain, and sharing in its joy. In the end, my friend, I don't envy you for being the richest man in the world. Money is a tool, like any other. It can build the greatest civilizations, and it can destroy the greatest souls. The secret isn't in how much money you have. The secret is in how much peace you have inside. Because no matter how many palaces you own, if you don't have stillness in your heart, you are the poorest of the poor. And now, you, sit with yourself for a moment and ask, what would you do if you became the richest? Would you buy everything, or would you do the right thing? Think carefully, because the dream might come true one day. And when it does, you might wish you could come back to this moment of simplicity, this moment of clarity, listening to this voice, not knowing what tomorrow holds.